If you look at your job as a job, you're not going to treat it the same as if you treat it like a career. You have to have a sense of ownership. Having biases is something to notice. It's not something to judge.
Welcome to Placer Review. I'm Anthony Baji, where we interview top local businesses here in Placer County. Today we have Davis Spade of SAFTA Security and Firearms Training Academy. Davis Spade's been a local, grew up here in Loomis, even went to Del Oro High School, DO. Davis has been a law enforcement professional and now is using those skills to train security professionals at SAFTA. We got an inspiring interview here. Let's just jump right into it. All right, here we are, Placer Review with Davis Spade from SAFTA Security and Firearms Training Academy.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
You've been here, you grew up here.
I did.
Tell me a little bit about your beginnings.
So I started off growing up in Loomis, Del Oro High School, moved over to Rockland, made a solid football program.
Oh, really?
And so Placer County all the way through, stayed Placer, but bounced around football programs. And then ultimately wanted to follow in Brett's footsteps, my dad's footsteps. My brother, who's also law enforcement, ended up becoming law enforcement. And then my other brother, who's business-minded, followed in his footsteps. And just Placer County through and through.
Man, so you are homegrown, local. Here it is.
Yep.
Davis Spade.
Yeah. SAFTA was a brainchild of my brothers and I when I was 18, 19 years old, not really knowing exactly what direction I was going before law enforcement came in. And we noticed a hole in the industry of training. You saw the mall security and the whole narrative behind it. And so we wanted to change that because there's veterans getting out of the military that aren't quite able to get into law enforcement, or maybe your background doesn't quite allow for it, but you still have that passion to serve. And so we had a passion to serve that community. And so how do we hire the level of training while still maintaining a solid price point? And we brought on a legend named Steve Caballero, gunnery sergeant, we call him Gunny. And we got him away from his company and had him come and work with us. And we just really wanted to hire the level of expectation that you get from a training academy. We set that level of expectation on day one. As soon as you come in, I talk to the class before they start. If you're here to become a security guard and just listen and take a test and think you're going to be given the answers, this isn't the place for you. We expect you to be taking notes, pass the class. If you don't pass, keep coming back. But we're not going to just pass you because you paid for a class. You have to put in the effort, and we don't train security guards, we train security professionals. Whether you're military, law enforcement background, or you just have a passion to serve your community, all of those are great things. Just a customer service background, you know how to talk to people. That's a great way to lead into becoming a security or law enforcement professional. I'm very passionate about helping my community, especially Placer County. But when I got hired with South Lake Tahoe Police Department, it was an honor, and I love South Lake Tahoe and I love everything about them. And I got to learn firsthand how to be a law enforcement professional, whereas just learning from Gunny and teaching what he taught me.
Understood.
And so I knew always going into it, I was going to come back to SAFTA, Security and Firearms Training Academy, but I had to get my own experiences.
Because you went through the training at the beginning.
Yeah. So
wow.
We started the training and then I went through it myself in order to teach it.
The stories where I hear the CEO going in and starting from the ground level and working their way all the way up and becoming CEO kind of thing.
I had no idea what I was doing. I was running an independent record label. I had no idea. And I was just working with hip hop and country artists. And then all of a sudden, now I'm teaching firearms classes. And it was just, got thrown in and learned so much before I could actually teach. I had to live it. And that was awesome.
What'd you learn? What was the big things that you really took away from it?
Confidence is the most important thing. Being confident in yourself and being able to speak to people from Fortune 500 company owner to the person that's been living on the street for 20 years, treating them with the same level of respect is such a big deal. and you're less likely to get punched in the face if you treat everyone how you want to be treated.
Whoa.
And so if I can get that to one student out of our 20 that are in the class, then I know that at least we're making some sort of difference in the community with that officer.
What are the core values that that you stand by and that SAFTA, stands by?
Honesty, integrity, those kind of run hand in hand, but integrity as it comes to business and not overcharging for services is a big thing. Like, yeah, we know that we have a premier product, but we also know that we can't outprice people that are trying to get into the industry.
Understood.
And so having the integrity to recognize that, like, hey, this is our operating costs. Let's make sure that we have it available to anyone and everyone.
Yeah.
And there's grant programs in place for that. Core values wise, just a heart to serve and enjoying what you do versus going to a job every day. If you look at your job as a job, you're not going to treat it the same as if you treat it like a career. You have to have a sense of ownership.
That's so true.
Yeah.
That's so true. How long have you been now at SAFTA doing this?
Technically, since I was 19, so 12 years.
Okay.
But
But
left
during
in the
that,
middle
you left, yeah.
to be a law enforcement for 6 years and then came back because, again, I had to learn how to teach it better.
Of course.
I've found I can teach what I've been taught, but I can't teach from personal experience, and that gets through to the students. And so the students have to see that you actually know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and how did going in and becoming actual law enforcement, did you learn more things there?
It's just learning how to communicate is the most important thing. Just understanding people, and no one calls 911 because they're happy or they're having a good day.
Wow.
You call 911 because it's the worst thing that's ever happened to you. And a lot of the time law enforcement can get frustrated because you get 911 calls 10, 20, 30 times a day. It's normal for them, but you have to treat every situation like it's a brand new thing. And so learning that was really big for me to bring into my classes. Like, you are so important to that one specific person that could really alter their outlook on law enforcement. Or you're in a uniform, whether you're security or law enforcement, they look at you in the ideas that you're a law enforcement officer.
Yeah, and you have a responsibility.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We have an expectation of protection, as we say. It's been massive. Like, to go back on the defunding the police, I mean, that's 1% of the officers, just like any other career base, right?
Yeah.
There are horrible bad seats, and it's highlighted, and justifiably so, in law enforcement. It should be highlighted. No one has disdain for a corrupt cop more than a cop. Like, it bothers us to our core.
Oh yeah, you guys want to push them out as much as you can.
My biggest successes in law enforcement, I always go back to, is when a community member, that's whether they're a gang member or a regular good civilian, for them to say thank you at the end of a contact, that's the wins. Whether, like, I drop them off at jail and they're going to jail, like, hey, thanks. I'm like, I just took you to jail. Why are you thanking me? And they're like, well, you didn't have to be so nice about it.
You treated me like a human being at this time that I did something bad.
And most law enforcement is like that, but that's not publicized because it doesn't sell anything, which it makes sense. As a business brain person, who's going to sell a paper on, oh, this is happy.
How is being here in Placer County, like, how does it feel?
It's the biggest thing. I told my wife when we were living in Nevada, because I was working in South Lake Tahoe, living in Nevada, Texas. But I said, if we move back to California, it has to be Placer County. Ideally Loomis, that's my home. But Placer County is a must. And so we had to work our way back into it. And so I slowly started integrating myself back into SAFTA until I could finally get to a spot to where Placer County is the community I want to serve. Yeah. Because that's where home is, and it's such good people, and they truly do appreciate their law enforcement and their security. It's such a beautiful area.
What's the overall vision like as you're going? Because you've been going for a while. It sounds like you're pretty successful as accomplishing your initial vision. How do you see it evolving?
That's a great question, and one that we have meetings about every month. Like, what's the next step? Every month we get into the office, like, what's next? Because we want to make sure we stay in our lane, right? We know that we're really good at this, and we want to make sure we're giving everybody an opportunity to get this. So is that opening up another one? Possibly. Is that opening up a new line of business, which is what we most recently did, where I can go out to a local business. Maybe you have issues with characters outside that aren't necessarily helping business come in, or you have a theft issue at your store. And I go in and say, hey, you don't need security yet. So if I were you, I would put in these access controls and just a camera. Or you need security, and I'll set you up with one of the many companies that I'm friends with.
It sounds like a consulting arm.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Wow.
And the companies don't pay for it, the ones that we go to.
Is it based on insurance kind of thing, or how does this work?
The companies don't pay us for it. So we'll recommend different security companies, and the security companies will then help us out.
Yes, gotcha.
On it, and they just pay the companies directly as if they were hiring regular security.
What kind of challenges and roadblocks have happened through this process of setting up SAFTA?
It's a high liability field, right?
Totally.
You're teaching people who have never touched a gun how to function a weapon, how to legally utilize that weapon. And so the different licenses you have to acquire, just where we're going to shoot for our qualifications. We started off in an amazing place called the Gun Range in North Highlands. And then since then, my brother, Brandon, and my other semi-brother, Jesse, started Placer Sporting Club, which is in Roseville.
Yeah.
It's a private members only range, and now that's like a really safe area where there's no random people coming in and out. It's the members only, and then our qualifications. And so it's creating those safe environments to lower liability helps out quite a bit. Those are the main roadblocks you run into, is county, state paperwork, to make sure we have everyone's proper information, storing it correctly, locked in different areas.
Have things changed over the years, just since COVID?
Oh, every year. Every
year.
Yeah, every year there's something new that pops up, and that's my primary job, is to study the law and make sure that we are teaching the most updated version of it. And if we're not, then we get penalized.
Of course.
And so we, like, new baton laws come into play, new firearms laws, you must do this amount of hours in this particular class. And so we have to readjust our curriculum constantly.
What different classes are actually offered through SAFTA?
Great question. You start off, if you're wanting to become a security professional, then you start with the 8-hour guard training. That's what's required to get a card to work.
Okay, to be a security guard somewhere.
Yeah, and you can only work on that for 30 days. And then you have to complete another 16 hours. And then within 6 months, you have to complete another 16 hours.
Okay.
So it's a 40-hour Monday through Friday class to get all of your unarmed security training.
That's first.
Yeah, not all schools do this, but what we do is we include in that 40 hours like pepper spray, stun gun, taser, tear gas certifications. So that way, even though you're unarmed, you still have a Batman belt.
Understood.
Right? You still got something to go to if things escalate, which things do often. At the very least, it's a confidence builder for you to speak better, because you have some form of backup. And then after that, you can do baton training, firearms training. We have a resume writing class.
Whoa, okay.
Salary negotiations class. We have different things like that to help people get higher paying jobs. I always tell my students, if you're not making more money than me in 2 years, then you're doing something wrong. I'm putting you guys into a position to make more money than I am.
Can you tell the people that are watching this all these different things you've done in the community, different events, things that you've sponsored through SAFTA, and stuff you've done in the community and things you enjoy to support?
We try our best to support anything Placer County related. That's a big thing. The city of Rockland, I don't know if you know this, my other brother is the chief of police of Rockland. He's one of my primary inspirations in life.
Oh, okay.
He's with my other brother, my dad. He puts on the Police Activities League, and we always are a sponsor at that, and we love being a part of it. It brings the youth to the events to build relationships with law enforcement. Yeah. And that's a really big thing, getting youth involved, and not just watching YouTube of how they think you can treat a law enforcement stop. There's the Placer County GOP puts on a lot of events. They hire SAFTA to do their security there. And so we'll go out and we'll also sponsor the event on top of that, which we did last time. They have another one coming up on September 12th. Anything we can do to help out Placer County and with that. Flights for Freedom was a really cool one.
I haven't heard of this one.
Flights for Freedom is essentially sex trafficking victims. They are typically trafficked to these areas. This is a high crime area for
Right here.
trafficking. Yes, Roseville specifically. The Galleria is massive for it. South Lake Tahoe is one of the biggest ones.
Really?
And Flights for Freedom, what they do is they will have private planes and private pilots, former law enforcement or military, to fly them home. So that way they don't have to go through the whole commercial flight process.
Oh, you just gave me chills, man.
Give them safety. And so SAFTA was a part of that in the last one. And we're a sponsor of it because that's such a cool benefit that they have. They put on a great event, by the way. You should definitely go to the next one.
How could someone, knowing that this area is definitely a sex trafficking hub, how can we protect our youth?
The easy answer is listen to your parents. But as you know, that's not always the right answer. The parents are normally right. And but it's just being active, asking questions as a parent is the easiest way to find out what's really going on, and letting them be open and honest without judging them for what they did. And then taking it off of the kids and having your own way of looking at the situation, and them learning from you at how you do it. Like, for example, I have a 15-year-old niece.
Yeah.
And every time we go out to dinner, my back's always to a wall and looking at a door, and just her asking questions of like, I noticed this is always happening. And she asks why. And rather than me teaching her without any, like, hey, you should do this, she's curious about why I do certain things. So leading by example has been a big thing with these kids. My goal, as I get more into the politics side of things, as I get older, is to create a curriculum for 8th grade through sophomore year to do a law enforcement tactics course that's a part of the curriculum. So that way people can understand why you get stopped, how to handle things with law enforcement, things to look out for. And it will help in especially underprivileged communities that are normally taught
how to interact with law enforcement.
Don't trust law enforcement, but if you have a law enforcement class teaching you this is what they do and why they do it, that will provide more understanding. Starting it in somewhere like Placer County, who would absolutely be open to that. Placer County is a big supporter. I think it would show great growth into other places as well.
Have you ever thought about having a class for about that same age group for our youth to learn how to be aware when they go to places like the mall?
We've done those before. And so we do them for local churches. We do them for local schools or events, field trips, whatever they want to do, typically at no cost. It's because we're just passionate about that specific thing, right? Hey, I'll go out, and if I could get a group of 15 kids, we'll go to the Galleria. I'll be like, look out for that guy. That guy's being weird. And whether or not he's being weird, it's something to notice.
Yeah.
And I always tell people in my classes, having biases and understanding how people are dressed differently is something to notice, not something to judge.
Say that again. I just want to make sure that hits because it's really important.
Yeah, having biases is not something to, or it's something to notice. It's not something to judge.
Yes.
And so I notice, I don't know if you're familiar with Oak Park.
Yeah.
Not the best area most of the time. There are beautiful parts of it. But if you see a guy walking around in all blue in Oak Park, that's typically not a good sign because it's typically a red area. And so I'm not judging that person any differently, but I'm paying extra attention to that person knowing something's probably about to happen. So I'm going to remove myself from the situation, or if I'm in law enforcement, I'm going to involve myself in the situation. And so that's, having biases isn't always a negative. It's just something to notice and pay attention to. When your brain tells you, that spidey sense tells you, should I pay attention to it? Yes. Don't judge anyone, treat anyone differently.
Yeah.
But keep it in the back of your head that, hey, I need to be safe in this moment.
Yeah.
Especially at places like Sunsplash.
How do you stay focused in such a high pressure type industry like this?
Repetition. It's all about getting reps in. Just like any muscle, you have to work it. I always tell people they want to try out a new holster for their gun. That's awesome. Don't use it until you've put 1,000 reps through it.
So practice in front of the mirror kind of thing.
Exactly. Every single thing, including the way you talk to people. If you're talking to someone and they can, especially people that have been through the system before, they know when you're not confident. They know when you're
see.
brand new. And so practicing with lower level stuff and working up your confidence and knowing no matter what happens, I know I can handle what can happen next. And so teaching that to my students, it's hard because you can't just tell them to do that.
No.
They have to do it on their own also. Continuing your
For
education,
sure.
perishable skills. Keep coming back to SAFTA. Keep calling me. I have a student call me at 10 p.m. last night. Hey, I just had my first burglary. What do I do? I'm like, all right, write your report how you think it's best. Send it to me. I'll red pen it. We'll go over it together. And so that program specifically, who that person called from, is our Advanced Security Officer program. That's how you get the grants from the counties. Placer County has a great one called Golden Sierra. They help people pay for all of their training, all of their state licenses, and then I also become your personal liaison to do all of your applications for you. And as you're interviewing for jobs, I'm calling those employers for you and saying, they went through our 80-hour program, not just the 40, not just the 16. They did everything. This is how they did on their tests. I am personally recommending them for this job.
Wow.
And so we have that program, which is our Advanced Security Officer program. We're the only ones that have the grant opportunities and that kind of stuff. We had to go through a lot to get there. Most companies wouldn't. It's not an easy process because only other places that have it are colleges. And you have to be certified through the Bureau of Post-Secondary Education. And they treat us like we're a college. So like, have them fill us out at the beginning of their semester. I'm like, it's a 1-week class. I'm like, they don't need to go through a 13-page thing. Like, it's 1 week. They don't need to do this. And they're like, no, they need to understand how many students you had last year, how many of them have jobs. And so we actually track all of our now almost to 11,000 students we've had. Are they still employed? How much are they making? And how can we help them increase? And we give that information back to the company owners to say, hey, your competitors are paying this much. You should start billing more so that way you can pay your employees this much.
How do you see this growing?
The nice part is it's not the type of industry that can be replaced. It's AI, it's doing their best with drones and cameras, and those are just more of assistants to us.
Yeah.
You still need a human-to-human contact.
Yeah.
And so this industry is only going to grow. The defunding police, which was obviously a very tough situation for California and Washington, just blew up our industry even more.
Oh, yeah.
All these companies are like, now we can't get law enforcement response.
Yeah.
Let's get the guys that are off-duty law enforcement to come.
Yeah.
And so now there's a whole bunch of off-duty officers that come through our school.
Tell me a little bit about the CCW class, California specifically, right?
So for your CCW, the first step you want to take is, one, you're a private citizen over the age of 21 with no significant crimes that would not allow you to possess a weapon.
Like a felony.
Yeah, a felony, a violent misdemeanor, domestics, those kind of things, 5150s.
Okay.
The next step is to own a gun.
Yeah.
Right? You have to own the firearm that you want to put on your license. You can't just say, I want to carry a 9 and then go buy a 9 after.
You have to have that gun
the exact
here
gun
that you're going to conceal.
Right. Okay. Opposite of security. Security, you just list a caliber. And then you can own any gun in that caliber and carry it. So for the CCW, you own your gun, and then you interview with your local sheriff's department. So for Placer County, Wayne was created a great program that they have over there to get you through the system, get you interviewed by the people that he's delegated it to. And after you interview with them, they give you the cool. And then you come to a 16-hour class with us.
Yeah.
And you get to hang out with Gunny, the 90-year-old Korean war vet that makes sure that you know what you're carrying and why you're carrying it. And it's a blast. And you go to the range, you qualify 50 rounds with that weapon.
Okay.
You pass the qualification, pass the written exam, then you take it back to the county and they give you the CCW for that exact weapon. Placer County is very active in it. Sacramento County is very active in it, which are our two primary. El Dorado County is very active in it, but Placer specifically, they've made the most recent changes. And what I like about Placer is they've put a higher notice on the mental health side of it, which was kind of missing in years past.
Yeah.
And people don't always understand the mental health side of carrying a weapon and using that weapon. So I love the change in the curriculum to kind of focus on that also. My favorite part of teaching is having them tell stories and me Monday morning quarterbacking it and saying, what could you have done in this scenario? Whereas a lot of instructors don't like doing that because it adds that what if.
Yeah.
And forces you to mess up sometimes.
You think like,
I enjoy the back and forth with the student.
how has social media played an impact for Security and Firearms Training Academy?
Not as much as I'd like it to.
Oh, okay.
I am a big believer in social media and the growth it could have.
Uh-huh.
We haven't utilized it much. One, because most social media platforms will ban the word firearms.
Okay.
And like we had to struggle initially with Google to get even our ads played because we had Security and Firearms Training Academy, which is why Placer Sporting Club is named Placer Sporting Club, not Placer Shooting Club, right? Or something like that.
Understood.
And so it's always like a tough route you have to take with it.
Uh-huh.
But we're not great at social media. We're a bunch of cops and veterans.
Understood.
So
Yeah.
what we think is interesting probably isn't to most. Or it's a little bit too niche.
Yeah, I don't know, because hearing your story and hearing you talk about this, and I've done quite a few interviews, it's super interesting to me. I would assume that our audience is going to really dig this because you're so open and putting it out there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love to get our Instagram, and we have Instagram, we have Facebook.
We do.
Our Yelp reviews are fantastic. The ones that aren't are people that probably didn't need to be in the class because it's not the easiest class. It's not supposed to be easy. If you're fully comfortable throughout the full 8 hours of the first day, then we did something wrong. You should feel a little uncomfortable. We need you to be prepared to go to court, prepared to deal with Karen or someone who's addicted to drugs.
Yeah.
You need to be prepared for it, and so we're going to do our best to simulate that stress in the training.
Wow. So it's experiential.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what Gunny can do. I try my best. I'm not as good as Gunny at it, but Gunny and JP do a great job of getting that. They're the veterans that get you feeling stressed. People look at me, they're like, "You're too nice. Stop."
You're too nice. Yeah.
I'm like, "I'll be behind my desk. Let me know if I need to get a complaint." One of my favorite stories as it relates from SAFTA to law enforcement. When I was a baby cop, 21 years old, I had just we have what's called FTO, the Field Training Officer Field Training Program, and Gunny, our instructor, had taught me a method to help someone into a vehicle when they're refusing to. And so they're handcuffed behind their back, and there's just a little way you twist the cuff to touch their ulna bone. It doesn't cause any damage, doesn't hurt beyond anything crazy, but it reminds them, hey, oh, I should probably pay attention.
Yeah.
And so my FTO said, this person's not listening, how are you going to get them in the car? And I went, and I just twisted a tiny bit, nothing crazy, doesn't hurt, doesn't leave any marks.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, and they hopped right in the car. And he goes, well, what was that? We didn't teach that in the academy. And I was like, oh, Gunny taught me at SAFTA. And they're like, all right, we need to figure out what you just did. That was so much fun. And it's just Gunny's experience. And so translating from security into law enforcement, those little things that Gunny teaches you from our school to get into that career that can keep you away from hurting or abusing power and just helping people make the right decision is really good.
Who do you want to honor?
Well, our veterans are our primary thing. I love our vets. That's why we started this company. We work directly with the VOA, Veterans of America, Volunteers of America, and Golden Sierra out in Placer County. They've been such a help to us from the beginning. They send us people all the time. Anyone who's unemployed, underemployed, that are looking to get into a job that helps them serve their community, we get them from Golden Sierra.
Wow.
SETA, which is the Sacramento version of that. There's a place called OBTT, Off-Base Transitional Training.
Okay.
So if you're anyone in the military, it sort of TAPS. It's what helps you transition from military into the civilian world. And so OBTT does that in addition to TAPS. And so we bring them in every month to help out our veterans. And they've been so helpful to us. Obviously, Chief of Police of Rockland, Rustin Banks, he's a primary inspiration behind it. My brother, Brandon, who's a Marine Corps veteran, started this. He's the smartest human I know. Jesse Meeker, who owns Placer Sporting Club with my brother. Marana PD officer, also went to we're all Del Oro guys.
Yeah.
We're all Loomis.
Yeah.
And so he served in the Army and then police. So our Placer County Sheriff's Department's a huge help to us.
Yeah.
And so, those are the kind of inspirations that have helped us along the way. and supported us in making sure that what we're teaching is valid. It's not just exactly, we teach what the state says, but then we go above and beyond to try and provide that higher level.
Davis, it was a pleasure. Do you want to call on
Toots?
Yeah, let's get Tootsie on here real
Toots,
quick.
come here. So I found her in the desert in Nevada when I was a cop there. And I called my mom. I was like, I'm pretty sure she was trained as a canine and she failed because she wasn't aggressive enough. And she knew like all of the right words that we teach in law enforcement. Became a great service animal to my grandmother and my mom and me. And so she just protects us everywhere she goes. Probably why she's staring out the door. She's like, hope there's a new place.
Yeah.
I gotta make sure no one comes in that's not supposed to be here.
Definitely.
And so she knows to always go to the left side, not the gun side. And she's just the most well-trained dog I've ever had.
Till next time, remember, heroes will be remembered, but legends never die.